So I tried to do it out, and I got these nummy cookies, which are a little more domey than last time. Ooh, fresh and delicious. How's that look in that camera? That looks gross. Okay, well, here's the best part about these cookies, is I thought, okay, well, if they're going to look like bonbons, at least bonbons are soft and yummy. Let's get them nice and soft and yummy. Uh-oh! Messed that up. Not swearing. Trying my best. Anyway, so I thought that's not the best cookie to have. You know, no one's going to want an unappealing cookie, and if you have to eat the whole thing just to feel something, it's like, no one's going to water their way through that. Camel. Ugh. Anyway, so I was like, all right, let's redo this. You kind of got a glimpse of it. That looks good. Hello! It is Cam. So I am here today. It's the same day as it was in the other video, I think. Yeah, it is. It is. I checked. It is. I'm here doing a very fun, nice episode called CVW, Cam's Buried Week. I don't know why. It's not called anything different. I'm going to be discussing, though, something that I kind of brought up with Tristan back in the 6th, 7th episode, whichever one that was, the one he was on. Watch it. Maybe I'll put the card, who knows? But anyway, it is a briefly discussed episode, and something that kind of has been going on the last couple weeks since I wasn't able to go home. Well, actually, for the past month I've been thinking, it's been a while that I've been thinking about this. Anyway, I'll start with some other things, and I'll slowly work into what's been going on. So, first, in the last video, I didn't talk about who I looked like, and it's going to work out well, because I only had 2 who I looked like, and I have 3 videos I'm doing, so, neat. So, this one is, if anyone guesses it, crazy, but I would be surprised. I am better looking Butch from the Little Rascals. I almost said, I keep wanting to say Little Giants. No, it's not Little Giants. Little Rascals. It's the front teeth and the hair. That's what really gets it. But yeah, Butch, he is a fun little kid. It's great. I think it's a good thing that I get to compare myself to little kids in looks. I think women really look for a guy that looks like a young kid. You always read about those teachers into young students. And you're like, what? But then you meet women who are like, oh, yeah, no, I kind of get it. And it's like, oh, alright. I guess I have a shot. But, it's kind of shady to me, so I stay out of that crew. Anyway, I look like Butch from Little Rascals. To talk about what we talked about in the other episode, I briefly brought up that I was baking cookies, and I have been for a while. I just like cookies. I've only stuck with the 3 though: chocolate chip, oatmeal raisin, and sugar. I think I only showed sugar. No, I did oatmeal raisin. I mean, you know what? I might have done all 3. So okay, let's go. Anyway, the sugar cookies we saw, they were domed. They weren't the best, and I brought up. I thought, I'd like to do a show where I do like Matrix style, where there are 2 cookies. They look almost identical. In the Matrix, they are very different, but the pill, I guess, looks the same. The only difference in the cookies, I mean, you won't be able to tell on camera, so they look the same. And the thing is, you know, I'll kind of know going into it, but then I'll spin the cookies around, like I'll mix them up. And it's going to be 1 edible cookie. They're both going to be edible cookies, but one is going to be infused with some very fun butter, you know, homemade fun butter, and it's going to give you like a nice uplifting or definitely couch potato-y feeling in about 45 minutes after eating said cookie. Or you just get a regular cookie and it's nice. And so I'll have it, again, with willing participants. I'm not just going to be out there Cosbying people. That's not my game. Not what I do. I'm going to talk about it before. I'm going to be like, hey, do you eat these kinds of cookies that could possibly make you just fall asleep on a couch all day? If they say yes, I'll be like, okay, do you want to play a game? If they say yes, I got a great game for them. The only thing was, the cookie, I thought, had to be good, you know? So, I was like, everyone likes a sugar cookie, so I'll start with a good sugar cookie. And I made the edible butter. I also didn't realize that the butter, and I didn't, if I had thought about it, it makes sense, but the butter kind of evaporates as you cook, so you start with like a half cup of butter. By the end, you only have like, I mean, it's not like a quarter cup, but you have less than a half cup. I tried to do it out, and I got these nummy cookies, which are a little more domey than last time. Ooh, fresh and delicious. How's that look in that camera? That looks gross. Okay, well, here's the best part about these cookies, is I thought, okay, well, if they're gonna look like bonbons, at least bonbons are soft and yummy. Let's get them nice and soft and yummy. Uh-oh! Messed that up. Not swearing. Trying my best. Anyway, so I thought that's not the best cookie to have. You know, no one's gonna want an unappealing cookie, and if you have to eat the whole thing just to feel something, it's like, no one's gonna water their way through that. Camel. Ugh. Anyway, so I was like, all right, let's redo this. You kind of got a glimpse of it. That looked good. But I was like, let's redo this. The batter doesn't hold as a cookie, so I was like, let's do cookie bars. Dun 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 dun! Oh, now that, let's check it out there. Oh, there might be Nutella on one side. I'm trying to top them. But yeah, so that is the edible cookie. These things, I had one this morning just to see, because I haven't actually tried one yet, so they're slowly getting worse. But it's pretty good. They taste great. The other thing, I made these yesterday afternoon. This is my favorite part. I just realized how boring they are. Look at this. Look at how soft these are. Baby! And this is the crusty part. Oh, yeah! So, very excited about this. I can't eat that today, but that is going to be delicious. So I thought that'd be really fun if I get people who are down for this. I don't quite know what I know the first part is going to be very similar to what I did with Tristan. Just a nice casual interview right here. Or if they are uncomfortable with this, which I guess people might be uncomfortable sitting in an enclosed space with me, as you'll find in the last video, basically always nude. It's fine. I'm fine with it. They're cool with it. They're cool with it. I'm cool with it. So, let's hope I can get people in here. That'd be more fun. Otherwise, yeah, we'll hang out in the apartment. We'll do some other stuff elsewhere. But we'll do this. We'll do a first intro part, interview, nice, calm. And then we'll do something either like activity-based, like we'll go out and play like basketball, tennis, a sport, and see something simple, nothing like too crazy, or I don't know if I get it. Crazy guess it'd be fun to play hockey, something like that. Anyway, or like trivia, like some kind of skill-based or like head-to-head thing. But again, it's going to be one person gets a regular, nice, delicious cookie bar, and the other person gets an also delicious, but delicious cookie bar, which is going to make you feel like... honestly, it's going to make you feel like you can sleep just about anywhere. This is feeling more and more like the coziest corner I have in my apartment, which is incredible. So I really do hope I get people who are down for this. But anyway, I don't think I've said the name. It's going to be called Good Cookie, Bad Cookie. It's going to be really, hopefully fun. I think it'd be funny. I don't really want to get into like double edibles, because I don't know, it just defeats the purpose. I think that, but like, who's gonna get it, who's gonna not, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, I think that'd be a fun little game to play. And the name's GCBC. You gotta love acronyms. So there is that idea. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about why I've been baking so many things. It started with the oven. and going out and making sure the fan works and stuff. Because I don't really bake too many things that I cook. That's like if you have to feed a lot of people in most situations, and you bake something nice and large, you want to make sure it's even. Anyway, I don't really use the oven too much, but so I have, in the last, since quarantine started, I've had to budget my food because I have a high metabolism, I eat a lot. Even right now, I'm wearing a sweatshirt and I am dying of heat. So I'm gonna roll this up. Anyway, so I have very high metabolism. For a while, it was hard for me to put on weight in high school. Like I had to drink protein shakes, and on top of 3 meals a day. And I actually had to do, it was like a protein shake, instant breakfast, like shake, breakfast, that I'd usually have to have another breakfast at school, then lunch, dinner, and usually I'd have a dessert. So it was pretty nuts. And that was only to put on like 30 pounds to like keep going through puberty and like trying to grow. Didn't really work. Then I got into college and I had a meal plan for a bit, and I got up and I was drinking. So I got up to like 170 at one point. I was like, wow, I should probably try and cut back. And then I got back into a more healthy lifestyle, which boosted my metabolism back up. And it was fine. Like I actually floated around like 135, 140 for a while, but that was because I was still drinking. And so like I just had water weight coming out of me all the time. So, you know, weight wasn't really ever an issue for me. As far as like being underweight, it was usually I was closer to the overweight portion because I am small, 5'6" is what I call myself, but I think I'm over 5'5". I'm a short dude. So I've always, I had to eat a lot. Even this, like, had a breakfast, a smoothie. I'm gonna have another breakfast after this. It'll probably be a lunch because I had a big dinner last night. But anyway, so I got up to Canada and I decided to stop drinking after a couple bad nights up here. And I was living with family, so I was like, I really can't be doing that around family. So I stopped drinking, and that's when I started having the underweight issues, which was weird because I eat a lot. It wasn't like I was cutting down to. I was doing intermittent fasting for a while, but it was like I'd explain my meals to people, and like I'd have 2 eggs and like 4 or 5 strips of bacon with toast in the morning with a smoothie, which would be light, and then I'd sometimes have cereal in between that, and I'd have like not a pound of chicken, but I'd have like a chicken breast and like a pound of pasta, a cup of pasta, not a pound, that's a lot. Cup of pasta, and like I'd have a salad. I'd usually have dessert if I had like a small dinner. Anyway, like I would eat a good amount, and I would still float around. Like it got really bad once quarantine started, because again I had to budget my money as far as eating went, because I can. Like, if I'm eating out, I'd have to eat. I'd get a lot. I'd try and either plan ahead for like 3 days, or not 3 days, 3 meals, or I would just get a lot for one dinner and then try and keep it at a low price. But yeah, so anyway, it was dumb food budgeting, and I was like, I can just cook my own food. It's going to be a lot better that way. So then I started doing that, and that started saving me a little more money that I could put back into my food budget, which was good. But I still, like, there was a while that I was definitely under 117. But once I bought the scale, I was at 117 for a long time. It didn't really break 120 for, I don't know, maybe 2-3 weeks after getting the scale. And I was doing, that's when I was like, oh my god, like, I need to eat way more than this. Because I was doing intermittent. I was probably only doing 2 meals 3 days a week. With like a dessert and snacks, and then the other 3 days it was like 3 full meals. So it was like it seemed like I was eating enough. It probably, I don't know, maybe that's too much intermittent fasting. I feel like I've heard of crazier ones, but that could be, I don't know. Again, it seemed like I was doing fine. Now I'm back up to I was like I went on a grind at one point, and once I realized that I wasn't going to be able to on a trip down to the States. I put a little bit of that money into a food budget as well. And I finally, this is pretty exciting. There has been a lot of junk food as far as baked goods go, which I don't usually eat. And a lot more ice cream because it's been nice out. But I got up to 130, steady. Like there have been 3 days in a row where I go in the morning and weigh over 130, which is good. I haven't had that since it was like 24 maybe? Around. Yeah, there was a point when I was, it was good. So right around 130 right now. I think actually today I'll probably be around 128, just because of this. Like honestly, wearing a sweatshirt on a day like this, that's gonna be my metabolism's at a point where this is going to drop me down a pound. For about the video. It's gonna be fun. But I can put up with that. That won't be too bad. Anyway, it's been fun. I don't get a lot of sympathy on it because again, most people have the exact opposite problem. They eat 2 times a week, or 2 times a day. They work out, they do things, and they put on weight somehow. I've talked to people at work that they put on weight and they're doing intermittent fasting at a crazier, they're 5 days at 2 meals and then 2 days at 3. It's like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, I get that metabolisms are different, I understand that, but I don't know. At some point, I feel like if I eat 4 pounds of food, someone else eats 3 pounds or 2 pounds of food throughout a day. Why am I losing weight and they're putting on weight? It's just kind of strange. But that's the world we live in. Anyway, don't get much sympathy. I have a lot of outward, I guess empathy would be the word, towards obese people that are trying. There are definitely people that are, I see people running on the street, and it's like, I've definitely heard comments from friends where they're like, oh man, check that, and it's like, get out of here. That is incredible. Like, I don't even run that much. I drive right now. I'm trying to run more than once a week. Trying to run every day, which is far off. But I can get out once a week right now, steadily, and I don't see the purpose for it. Anyway, that's what was, I thought, for a while, keeping me so low, was the running, and then I cut off running for a while, and it changed absolutely nothing. Still a fun metabolism. Again, don't care if you don't sympathize with me. No one does. It's so fun. I love it. I get the eye rolls at work, and it's like, it's so fun. But I don't even go into it. So sometimes I'm like, oh, you don't even want to hear the hard part. Like, I've been topping my mashed potatoes with mac and cheese. I've been topping a lot. I actually topped a pasta dish with mac and cheese, which was fun. It's just like at some point, and it's not even like what's even more frustrating is I still get that hungry feeling at the end. Like, it won't be right after, but depending on what it is, there are some meals that I just can't get enough of. Like, this is ice cream, milk and cookies by Ben & Jerry's, delicious, great ice cream. I have eaten 2 pints in a row before and still felt that. I just want one more scoop. Like, sometimes I get in that zone where I can eat just about anything as much as I want. I'm no DB saying I can eat 30 damn chili dogs in one sitting. I'm not saying that. That's just ridiculous. Like, that's an unheard of number. I think he even had an hour, like a time limit on it, but I don't want to put that on. I know it was up here 30, which is stupid. But anyway. That is that is all I feel about that. Again, I'm not looking for sympathy. I don't care. Like, I'm at the point now where my weight's fine. I'm controlling it. Everything's good. I mean, I guess I was always controlling it. I never hit. I think 117 at my height is still, like, it's on the low end of healthy or on the high end of underweight. But, like, again, I always kept it within, except for when I was 170. That was becomes overweight just slightly. But again, that's alcohol. Alcohol does that to you. Alcohol and a meal plan. So yeah, send it my way. Oh yeah. Here we go. This will kill a couple more minutes. There are a there are a few big sporting events going on which have caught my attention. There are a lot of things distracting me from just doing a couple 20-minute videos. Really not that hard. It's more the listening to myself. It's just so fun because I'm me, and then I have to hear me say things about me. It's like, so fun. Anyway, so something going on is the NHL Playoffs hockey. Ooh, baby. Yeah, we have both Toronto and the Bruins in the playoffs here, as well as, I like the Penguins. I like the Capitals, but not right now. So, I mean, there are some good teams to root for. McDavid on the Oilers is a solid choice. They're not doing so hot because Winnipeg, they're going to be a lot of spoilers. There aren't spoilers in real life, silly goose. Those are only movies and TV shows and books, maybe. So anyway, Winnipeg is a dark horse because they have beat Toronto, they beat the Oilers in just about every head-to-head series. Just about. Or at least it's close, I'm pretty sure. I know they beat Toronto head-to-head. And Toronto's number 1. They're playing against the number 2 seed, and they are set as the number 3. So they are in the perfect position to win everything. Because I think what their problem was they can't play down in hockey. Like, that's... love to compare myself to professional hockey players, but that was my problem in tennis. Like, I have friends that have beat me and won't play me anymore because they're like, no, I have a winning record against you because I beat you. And they beat me. I lost to them because I can't play down. I think way too much on what I'm going to do, and I'm like, well, this sounds like an asshole thing. I'm like, oh, don't be rude. That's newer. That in high school I didn't have that because I didn't have control of the ball. In high school it was, I want to kill this ball. He's hitting it so slowly. I just want to hit it fast. And it wasn't even that. Then it was like, oh my god, and you got to that one? Why did you get to that one? I hit it well. And it's like, so... yeah, anyway, that's me. In hockey, it should be different at a professional level, but it doesn't seem to be because Winnipeg is sweeping them up right now. Connor McDavid, I think, is pointless. I know he doesn't have a goal, which is great. But they're playing... I really hope it's tonight, but I think they played yesterday, so I think they're playing Monday. We got the Bees on tonight. Go Bruins. We have... not the Leafs. Leafs were yesterday. Oh, Jonathan Tavares, man. So Tavares is the captain of the Maple Leafs, and he... he's not the most significant offensive player, but he's a 2-way. He's like Bergeron. Like, he's going to get the goals that you need him to get. Otherwise, he's going to be probably more defensive and more just setting stuff up. Anyway, great mind to have. He's the captain, so obviously a great player. And of all people, to knee him in the head at full speed, of all people, it's Corey Perry. The biggest rat, oldest rat, I should say. He's not the biggest. The oldest rat in the NHL. It's ridiculous. But you can't. I mean, you watch the play live. He wasn't misplaying. He wasn't following up in a dirty way. He was technically out of position because he shouldn't have been on the forecheck. The forecheck shouldn't have happened. They were just doing one of those, we have to dump and chase forechecks just because they have to. So, I mean, yeah, he was technically not supposed to be there in the grand scheme of things. Doesn't matter because it was the craziest fall. Like, he got turned around. It was a weird hit, but then he tripped and fell like onto his knee and turned directly into Corey Perry's oncoming knee. Smoked his head. If you watched it live, it was when the trainer. There's a point where the trainer is like, okay, well, we're gonna put you on your back, and instead of just like flipping him over, because he's on his front, he gets kneed, and when you get kneed, you're knocked out. So you're like this. You get kneed and fall backwards. So they're like, okay, well, we need to get you on your back. So instead of just going, and having someone assist him. I don't know how I'm going to cut that. That's too many edits. Having someone assist him and just go, oh, let's go. He tries to one-man it, picks up his head, so it's like his chin. He starts lifting him up. He goes, oh, and he goes like this, and then he's in like a not butterfly. Yeah, I guess like a butterfly, almost like a goalie butterfly. The knees comes up, and then all of a sudden he has no control over himself, and he just like a baby deer just starts going over backwards right onto his head again. It's like, aren't you the medical guy that's supposed to be like, hey, don't move him, don't try and move him severely when he tried to bend his knees on top, and his knees would have had to flop out from under him at a weird angle. Like, who is this trainer dude? Again, he probably did everything right. I have no medical experience other than I helped a nurse study. That's as deep as my knowledge gets there. So it wasn't even a big test. It was just like throughout a semester. So I don't know that much. Myocardial infarction. It's a fun word to say. It's 2 words. Ah! So, anyway, GCBC is going to be great. NHL, rooting for, and my prediction for everything, I don't think the Maple Leafs have it anymore. They were 100% going to take it, just because the North has been solid. Now I'm leaning a little more towards Winnipeg, honestly, the way they're handling it. But, I don't know, I feel like they'd have to pull a lot of switches down in the States once they hit those teams. They haven't even seen each other. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be anyone out west. I do like how the Golden Knights are doing, but I don't think it's going anywhere. The Bruins obviously are a favorite. Go Bees, but you know, they got to close it today. It's got to be done here. First game in Washington. They can't let Washington in. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a close. It's probably going to be another overtime, but it's got to happen. So, if the Bruins take it here, I'll give them a shot. I'll put them as probably number 1. Otherwise, I think it's going to be Winnipeg. It's going to be hard, but I think Winnipeg's got it. They've got the series record in the North, and I think the North is the best division right now. So, all right. Bid number 2, baby. So there's second one. Number 3's coming out. It's not going to be right now, back to back. It might be. I do have them all ready to go, so it might be. We'll see. But I have to eat. So, goodbye.